Good afternoon. I'm really delighted to be standing before you today. I'm emphasizing on the word standing because my parents never thought that I would be able to stand. At the tender age of 6 months, I was affected by polio. And today, I can walk, I can jump, I can run, I can. I was one of the rarest cases of complete recovery at the Kalavati Sharan Children's Hospital in Delhi. And I'm grateful to God for that. But today when I stand before you, I'm here to talk about something else, a different kind of handicap that I faced. My parents had migrated from the beautiful state of Kerala in the southernmost part of India in the early 60s. And I was born here and I started growing up here. My parents lovingly gave me a name, a pet name as you call it. But when I started going outside, I gained consciousness. My neighbors in that middle class neighborhood started calling me by another name, which was alien to me. And that name was Madrasi. I didn't know what it meant. I had never gone to Madras in my life. I never spoke in the language that the people in Madras spoke. Because I was a blue-blooded Malayali. Spoke Malayalam. And everywhere I used to be called Madrasi and Madrasi ka bacha. I studied in a school run by Keralites, but I was told that I study in a Madrasi school. I went to a temple built by Keralites, but I was told it's a Madrasi temple. And constantly I was heckled for that. I was teased in my neighborhood for that. I never realized what it was all about. I thought that I belonged to some inferior race. Maybe it's a crime to be one. I asked my parents also, but they said that, well, we come from South, they call all South Indians as Madrasis. Then I said that why don't they call Punjabis, Himachalis and Haryanvis as Biharis? They had no answer. But as I grew up, I never held a grudge against anybody. I decided to understand what had happened. And then I studied, read, and I was told that during the British times, we used to have presidencies. Bombay Presidency, Calcutta Presidency, and a Madras Presidency. And anybody who came from Madras Presidency was a Madrasi. They had no idea that there are people who speak different languages, follow different cultures, have different dance forms, classical music forms, eat different kind of food, but they were all clubbed together. But I realized that that was not a hate crime. I realized that that was not a case of racism, but it was a case of ignorance. And I decided, and I also found, interestingly, that even the Hindi films, which they say unites people across the country, they were creating stereotypes. You had films like Padosan, wherein the person from the south speaks with a specific accent. Ayoji, Anda Ponda. Even the college I went to is one of the most prestigious and good colleges in Delhi. That's the Sri Venkateshwara College. But that was referred to as the Sambar Vada College. SV college. But then as I gradually realized, I decided that no, I will overcome this, I will change this. And thank God, I am again delighted to inform you that today, I am today one of the most popular speakers in Hindi across the Hindi belt. I am called by people to speak on subjects ranging from Sardar Patel to Swami Vivekananda, from media to management. There is no topic on which I am not called by people in small towns like Muradabad, Shamli, Panipat, Sonipat, and I address them in Hindi and they come and compliment me. Remember, they are the people who used to ask me that, आपको हमारा दिल्ली कैसे लगा? I said, आपका दिल्ली? दिल्ली तो हम सबका है. ये तो देश की राजधानी है. And today they tell me कि इतनी अच्छी हिंदी तो हम नहीं बोल पाते हैं. And when I speak in my mother tongue, they ask me, ये आपने कहाँ से सीखा? आप तो हमारे हो. Now, I realized when in the 90s and 2000s, you had a fresh group of migrants. Of course, people had started trickling in. They were from Northeast. And they started facing a different kind of a predicament. And that was, they used to be called Chinkis. States like Arunachal Pradesh, where the people actually hate China, to be called a Chinese was the ultimate insult. And when they used to stand in queue outside the Qutub Minar, they would be asked to stand in the queue for foreigners, not for Indians. Because you are foreigners. Foreigners have to pay 500 rupees, Indians have to pay 10 rupees. So I decided that yes, this is something that I had undergone. And along with my friends from Mumbai, we started an organization called My Home India. India is my home. And we started this My Home India with a helpline for Northeast students who are coming here, people who come to work in the service industry. And we started this helpline. And we also help families whose children have been trafficked from Northeast. And we take them back. And not just that. In all the festivals that we have, we bring them home and we share with them our joy, our sorrow. And that's where they start feeling that this is my home India. This is not a foreign place. This is my country. This is my city and this is my capital. And another experience that I went through is when I was in college, I'd gone to a place somewhere in Surajkund. Surajkund used to be the most happening picnic spot those days. I went there and I remember we had gone to some cave. You had some, forested area. And there was some samadhi. And a Baba came out and he gave us some, what you call, prasad. And we were all having it and I asked one of my classmates to take it. He told me, sorry, I cannot take it. I said, what happened? He said, well, that's against my religion. That's for the first time I was hit by an identity called a religion. I did not know. I knew people by name. I never knew people by religion or caste or community. So, in 2006, I set up, along with my friends, the Global Foundation for Civilizational Harmony, which was inaugurated by His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, and a host of religious leaders, the Archbishop of Mumbai, the Rabbi of the Jewish synagogue in Delhi, Isaac Malekar, and Maulana Mahmud Madani of Darul Uloom Deoband. That was the time when I remember, and some of you might be remembering, there was a film called My Name is Khan, your favorite SRK. And the message of the film was that Well, just because you have a surname, that doesn't mean that you are a terrorist. And we also decided to sensitize people on this. And we helped the Darul Uloom Deoband to organize conventions across India where it was declared that terrorism is anti-religion and no religion can support terrorism. That was a message which was loud and clear, so that nobody is identified as a terrorist just because he belongs to a particular religion. Friends, in all these experiences, personal experiences, one thing that I realized is that what was lacking was communication. We don't communicate. We are not able to. We build stereotypes. Once we build stereotypes, we get into our grooves, we get into our cocoons, and we hold a grudge. Just because one person behaved with you in a particular manner, you identify the entire community. You brush the entire community with one brush. That's where you and I have to, because we have been taught in school, the school pledge, I still remember that we are all Indians are my brothers and sisters. And I think that one thing that is lacking in this entire thing is communication. That's why I decided to become a communicator. I became a journalist. And today I am heading India's premier media institution. And there also my hostels are named. I have named my hostels. My hostels do not have any names. One of my hostels is Rani Gaidinliu Girls Hostel, named after one of the greatest Naga freedom fighters. Nobody knew about Rani Gaidinliu. My officers' hostel has been named after Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. My boys' hostel has been named after Baba Saheb Ambedkar. When you name, people tend to identify. So it's very important that this communication goes on. The key to all problems in the world, I believe, whether it is Israel, Palestine, whether it is North Korea, South Korea, you look at the world around, the problem is absence of communication, or in our neighborhood. And when the communication gap is there are elements who miscommunicate, mislead. So, be great communicators, and the only mantra for a happy life, whether it's your family, whether it's your friend circle, whether it is your society, whether it's your country or the world, the only mantra is communicate, communicate, communicate. Thank you.